Can people with diabetes eat corn? This is a question that I receive very often, and in this week's video we will evaluate the nutritional table and tell you whether or not you, who have been diagnosed with diabetes, may be consuming this type of product. So enjoy. Watch until the end, because I'm sure you'll leave here learning more and more. And this week, in the episode of Quantum Diabetes, we are going to evaluate our little friend here who is green corn. Many people have a lot of doubts regarding the consumption of this food, whether it is recommended, whether diabetics can consume it, and we are going to evaluate the nutritional table of this steamed green corn. So it ends up being the canned green corn that we find in cans, and then we will evaluate the nutritional table. Because I'm going to leave it here for us so we can understand the consumption, the amount of carbohydrates and ingredients too. So let's go. We can see in the nutritional table that one can will initially contain 170 grams of drained green corn. That is, only one product we can evaluate here. In the nutritional table we will take into account 130 grams of the product. That is, it is almost the total amount that comes in this can. We will remove around 40 grams of corn here so we can take it into consideration. In other words, it is a small fraction. We can see that in 130 grams, which is a cup of tea, we will have 86 calories of the product, which is a very interesting amount. We will have 14 grams of carbohydrate, that is, in 130 grams of the total product. We only have 14 grams of carbohydrate product, which is a very interesting amount. We can check that proteins we will have 4.5 grams of protein in this product and total fat 1.3 grams of fat, in addition to the amount of fiber. We're going to have 2.6 grams of dietary fiber, which is a pretty okay amount. And to be able to answer the question we asked about corn up front, we can even consume steamed green corn. It has a low amount of carbohydrates, has protein, has fiber, but you should not exaggerate the quantities. You don't need to eat a can of corn every time you consume corn, but you can consume it without any major problems, without excesses. Of course, the way you add corn to your meal can directly influence the value of your blood glucose. So, if you add corn to eat with white rice, your glucose tends to rise as you will consume white rice, which has carbohydrates. You will consume corn, which also has a carbohydrate content and can cause an increase in your blood glucose. But if you consume the green corn added to the stroganoff that I already shared the recipe for here on the channel, you can complement your stroganoff with corn. So learn how to add corn intelligently to your routine. Avoid, for example, blending this corn and straining it, because from the moment you strain the corn, you will also remove the amount of fiber, and this will end up increasing the glycemic index and making it more unviable to consume. However, answering the diabetics question, you can consume green corn intelligently. This one is steamed, but you can also eat the pickled one. Another important point is that because it is a preserved food, it has higher amounts of sodium, so it is another point for you to take into consideration to avoid consuming excess. So consume a small portion of green corn in your routine to complement a salad. Add a source of protein, and you won't have any major problems adding green corn to your routine. Now, reading the list of ingredients, which is a very small list, we will see that it contains salt, water, and the green corn itself. So the small amount of ingredients is very interesting, which makes the product as natural as possible. But as I already mentioned, it has salt and a considerable amount of sodium, so avoid consuming too much, especially if you have high blood pressure, right? And you can directly help expand the Edu Diabetes channel to more and more people. And so people end up improving their quality of life, treatment, and achieving better health for themselves. It doesn't hurt to share this video. So I just ask that you do this, okay? Next door I'm going to leave another super content about the Edu Diabetes world. So keep watching the videos marathon, learn more about diabetes, about how you can deal with your limitations in an intelligent way and achieve increasingly better health, right? So we'll stop here. Everyone stay with God and see you later.